more. Okay, I think we will go ahead and start while other people will be joining us.
So you're doing the presentation today?
Yes, I'm doing the presentation today. Let's change my name here. My name. Okay. Are you guys student at Hostos Community College?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How about Fred?
Yeah, same here.
Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and start. My name is Professor Dejoli. I'm sure Professor Dosuli mentioned about me. And I'm here, I have a background in cybersecurity. I have a doctorate in information technology. And my specialty is actually cybersecurity. And today I want to give you more information regarding cybersecurity and finances, and maybe add some more information on what you know already, or maybe on what you guys went through since Monday. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. Hello, Alicia, welcome. And when I'm going to Hello, Alicia. So when I'm going through the slide, we are going to start in a few minutes. You guys can stop me and ask your questions. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me see if you guys can. Is this here? Okay. Workshop is here. Can you guys see my screen? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So welcome to
Yes,
this
I can see it.
workshop. Okay, so welcome to this workshop again. Today we are going to answer or try to answer this question: how to protect my asset. Again, as I mentioned, my name is Dejoli Crystal, or you can call me Crystal or Professor Dejoli. I have my background is mostly in information technology. I was a student also at Hostos in the year 2009. I was a CSTEP student as well, the first promotion of CSTEP students. And I would like to share this knowledge about maybe your finances, everything that you study so far. Maybe I would add some more knowledge. And before we start, I want to ask, what's actually a connection? Do you think there's a connection between finance and cybersecurity? Do you have some knowledge about cybersecurity? When we talk about cybersecurity,
I would say that cybersecurity refers to the protection of online assets. I could interpret
yes,
like this, but
yeah,
I'm just
yes,
guessing.
you are very correct. It's actually the protection of your assets online, everything that you're doing online, and how to protect those information, right? So we're gonna see how is aligned also with how that align also with finance, right? So before we start, I'll ask this question. So just a quiz. So the first question I have here is in the context of cybersecurity, what is the difference between data confidentiality, integrity, and availability? Do you have any idea about this concept when we talk about confidentiality, integrity? Someone want to answer this question?
I would say your data confidentiality would be, so to speak, your personal information being kept in confidence, so people don't know about that particular information, that important information. And the integrity, I would say, whether that institution or whatever is honest about that information. And availability, I would say, is what is legally available, per se, what information would be legal.
Okay, that's a good one. Someone else want to start to try something? That's good. Very good for it. Are you sure you have something to add? Isabel?
No. I would say that in the context of cybersecurity, it's just how your information or data, as it says per se, it's managed.
Okay.
Yeah, like for instance, if how like different institutions manage your data, like in those three elements about confidentiality, integrity, and
Okay.
availability.
Good,
So
good. Good. That's also a good try. That's very good. So let's look at the answer. All of you have the correct answer. So when we talk about the confidentiality of your data, right? We just want to ensure that information is accessible only to those who have like the authorized access, right? So you don't want your information to be somewhere that to someone, or maybe accessible to someone who is not you, right? So when we talk about confidentiality, is actually what you mentioned, and we in order to protect the data, we want to make sure it's your account. When maybe you want to access the account, it's not someone else. So, and we don't want to share your data with, or your information with, someone else. So when we talk about data integrity, it guarantees that the data remain accurate, right? Nothing is changed. If you say ABC, it should be ABC. Unaltered and reliable throughout its life cycle. You don't want to give your information to the bank and then they change your information for you, and then in the system is something else, right? So when we talk about integrity, is the accuracy of the information. So data availability ensure that authorized users have access to information when needed, preventing disruption or downtime. Just for data availability, right? In cybersecurity is just an example. Just imagine you go on a website, you want to shop, and you want to get a product at a certain time, right? So in order, they will put everything available for you. They will make sure the network is available. So when we talk about data availability in this case, is you want to get maybe a picture in your iCloud as you want. It's available for you to retrieve at any time. It's not like, okay, you can only access your pictures, and that's just another example. You want to access your picture, you can only access your picture maybe at 9 p.m. because there's the line, or maybe the traffic is crowded and stuff like that. So is data availability, your data should be available when you need, right? and you don't want any downtime, you want to go to a website and you want to buy something, they say no, the website crashed because there's a lot of people connected at a certain time, maybe they're watching soccer. You don't want that kind of stuff. So when we're talking about data availability, is the availability of your information when you want, when you need, when, you know, even at peak time, sometimes people want to get some very important information. So my second question today is, what is phishing email? What is a phishing email? And how? Yes, go ahead, Alicia.
A phishing email is an email that either contains spam information, or is trying to attempt to hack your computer systems.
Good, very good. And how can individuals protect themselves from falling victim to phishing attacks? Someone else want to answer the two questions or one?
Don't reply to any email that you're unfamiliar with, the so to speak, the email address. So you would delete it, and definitely you wouldn't open up any links to it.
Good. So a phishing email is a fraudulent attempt to obtain sensitive information by disguising as a trustworthy entity. To protect against phishing attacks, what do you need to do? Everyone should be cautious of unsolicited emails. There are emails that comes and you don't have to click on it, on all of them. You can check and see the title, you check and see the provenance, you check and see if it's fake. Even when you open it, you know, it looks like maybe your company email, and sometimes they make it look like the same, right? So it's very important to be aware that just an email or just a click can harm your computer. They can take over, and what they usually do is they ask or they request a ransom. So that's the money, and that's a lot of money. So we should be careful. Avoid clicking, as Fred said, suspicious links. Sometimes they send you link on your phone as well. So you have to know that, okay, I did not sign up anything with Best Buy, so why are they sending me? So we need to be aware that they are outside there and trying to get into our systems. Verify the legitimacy of requests for sensitive information. So before you give any sensitive information or your request, you have to be careful, right? So what is the connection between finances and cybersecurity? The answer here is they're looking at your data, right? What's the connection? In finance, we have data. In cybersecurity, we are talking about data. So what's the connection? It's data. So what is data? And I know most of you know. Now, in this new world where big data is explosive, everybody is connected to the internet, data is the new gold. You will hear that term, that data is the new gold, because even when they're taking your information, I'm not talking about hackers, even companies, marketing companies, they're making a lot of money with your data. As there's a field called data mining. So they analyze data, they take some data. Sometimes they just want to see your behavior, how often you shop. Sometimes they ask you some surveys, but they using your data to have a lot of money. So when you have data, they say you have gold, and you know that gold is, as you see, it's like it's a lot of money, right? So how does cybersecurity sit with your finance? Is data. We're talking here about data, right? So in data, we talk about data in financial transaction, right? When we talk about data, is your information is related to your transaction or financial transaction that you're having or that you are making, like the details about your purchases, your sales, the investment, all things related to money, right? Money transaction. So those are your data. And we have to be careful on when we operate, especially online, right? So market data, when we talk about the data in the field of finance, you hear about the market data. I'm coming over data. Why? Because even in cybersecurity, we are talking about data. So now the trick is to check how can we secure those data, because it's just data. Finance is data, cybersecurity, those are data, those are information. So when we talk about market data in finance, we're talking about what stock prices, exchange rates. I'm sure you guys saw that with the Professor Doshili. And traders and analysts rely on this data for what? Decision making, because they are taking your information, taking information of billions of people. They study the behavior. Sometimes they sell even your data to other people, and that's how they are becoming rich. That's how that's where also the money is. So when you know that data is gold, you have to be careful on how you put your information out there, or even how you are taking information of other people, how you deal with us, how you protect your information, right? So what is data also? In customer information, data is customer information, right? Personal data details, your personal details, financial details of clients, account information, credit score, transaction histories. Those are customer information, and we call that data, right? So a role of financial institution, the role of banks or financial institution is to securely handle and protect this sensitive information. You don't want to give them your information and then you realize that your information were not secure. You don't want to shop somewhere and then you realize that they did not protect your information. You will be, what will happen, you know? So I have this this picture here. So when we talk about customer satisfaction, so there are two things that could happen. If the customer is not happy, they will complain. They can even sue your company. They can sue your company. So, but when they are happy, you see customer loyalty. If you have a company, they will come back. Why? Because their expectation is that you secure their information. And when you do that as a company or as a person, you are able to secure the information of your clients and stuff like that. Now, you know, they are happy. And happy means the business will work, right? Because your customer are the key holders of your company. They are the one making you having that money. So it's very important to consider that fact, right? And also, when you don't secure customer or this customer satisfaction is not there, it can harm your reputation also. So we see also that the reputation is there, is also a risk. So that's why secure information is very, very, very important. So what is data? Data is risk management, right? And in risk management, in order to manage, we have to access those risks first, right? And when we access them, we are able to manage. We can analyze using maybe historical or real-time data. There are data that comes, well, what we call real-time is like, is coming at the, as you are producing, are you putting something is out there, you know? So, or maybe you are writing something, right? We have to be aware that in everything that we do in bank or anything, we have to protect, we have to know that those data are very important and critical. So the goal is to predict potential risks and market trends. The trend is, here we are talking about risk management, right? The goal of risk management is to predict the potential risks and maybe the market trends, and then do some analysis, making sure that there's no risk. And if there's risk, how to avoid it in the future, right? As you see in the picture, enhance decision making. In order to make a decision, we have to know What are the risks? Is there any vulnerability or anything like that? Competitive advantage, significant cost of saving. We, in order to detect even the fraud, we have to know that even in risk management, data is involved, mostly in everything. So what is data in what data is in cybersecurity? Before we continue, do you have any question? Do you guys have any question?
No.
Okay. So
No,
what? Yes, go ahead, Fred.
I said no.
Oh, okay. So the word cyber, right? Cybersecurity, I know you guys define it, what it is already, you understand? So it denotes anything related to the virtual, digital, or electronics environment. So when we talk about cyber, you have to see everything that is digital, virtual, electronic, computer, stuff like that, right? Computer system, network, information technology is a combination of internet technology, computer systems, networks. You can combine all of them, and then you have, when you see that word of cyber, it's just computer systems. And now, when we talk about security, it's prevention, right? How to make them secure. Security of digital system and data. So what is the goal? The goal is to protect those computer systems, network, information from various threats. And in the online and digital environment, we are going online, we are on social media, we are everywhere. So we want to make sure that all the system where we are going is secure. That is not like you want to go somewhere on Instagram and someone is monitoring you, is able to see everything. You are opening a page, your bank account, everyone is aware of what you did, right? So how many people trust public Wi-Fi? How many people here? Do you guys trust public Wi-Fi? Are you careful when you go on internet? Maybe in a fast food, do you trust those public Wi-Fi? Do you know that your information could be accessed easily on those public? So if you didn't know, it's good. Sometimes we are stuck, we need a Wi-Fi, but when we are there, we have to be careful, to expose, maybe open, maybe your financial details or bank account on those public. You have to be careful. Maybe it's to make a phone call. Yeah, those stuff are basics, emails, but we should be aware that the public Wi-Fi's, stuff like that, everything that is public is really public. Anyone have access. There's no control, right? So cybersecurity is how to protect those computer system, information technology, networks, So that's actually cybersecurity. Those data that we receive from there. So we can obtain the data from what? From the network traffic and logs, user authentication data, vulnerability data, incident response data, and threat intelligence. So there are data in the cybersecurity area also that we can get from even the traffic of the network. The network is going from this way to this way. Maybe it's from this location to this. So there are data in, and we can obtain their information in, and we can obtain those information and analyze it, and those could be also a risk. So it's very important to understand that data is everywhere, and we have to secure those data, right? So when we talk about network traffic and logs, right? Cybersecurity deals with data related to network traffic, system logs, and events records. Analyzing these data sources help identify unusual activities and potential security threats. User authentication data. We have also that kind of data. There's data about the user access, right? When you go on a website, or maybe even you want to email, you want to join a website, and where you have to sign in, right? You have to put your user access Those we call that authentication data. Login attempts, authentication methods, those are critical for ensuring that only authorized individual can access the system and sensitive information. You don't want anyone to get into your system, right? So those, when we talk about authentication data, those are data that we retrieve as you are trying to access a website, as you are trying to log in, as you are trying to authenticate yourself, right? Using maybe two-factor authentication or maybe any other tools. So we have also vulnerability data. Information about software and system vulnerabilities is vital for cybersecurity. Keeping track of known vulnerabilities help in applying patches and securing systems. So it's very important. As we know how to secure the system, right? Sometimes there are updates that you have to make each time. Sometimes the software, even on the phone, they're going to ask you updates. Why? Because they know that maybe your system is vulnerable and they have to update some stuff, So those are some data that we have in cybersecurity. So we have also incident response data. In the event of a security incident, data regarding the nature of the breach, its origin, where it's coming from, and the tactics used by attackers are collected and analyzed to improve future security measures. So if we know that this is what caused this, right? We will collect those data, they will analyze it, and they will write even reports so that next time they improve. They will maybe train their employees. This is what happened. It's because of this error. Someone click on the website, someone click on the link, and this was a fake link and some stuff like that. So they will try to improve the future security measures so that that action will not happen again. So we have threat intelligence, right? Cybersecurity professionals use data related to emerging threats and attack patterns to proactively defend against potential cyber threats. This involves what? Gathering and analyzing information from various sources. Yes. So as it's also a form of getting information and analyzing from different sources and making sure that we can avoid an attack to happen before it happen, because we talk about threat intelligence, like using AI tools, using some other measure to make sure the system is secure. Before an attack happen, we proactively defend those, right? Those are some tools that company use. So to summarize finance data and cybersecurity, right? Finance deal with data related to monetary transaction, market activities, customer information. Cybersecurity focus on safeguarding. So we have information coming from different sources in the finance, right? So now cybersecurity will come and make sure those information are protected, right? The system, network activities, user authentication, vulnerability, and threats, everything should be safeguarded. When we talk about data, those data should be protected. So in both domains, they rely on accurate and secure handling of data for their respective purpose. So either you are in finance or maybe you want to measure in cybersecurity and anything, we have to, all of us, we should be careful about when we're handling information, how those information can be accurate, keep it accurate, and also secure. Do you have any question before we move on? Or any comment? Anything that you learned so far? Are you guys there?
Yes.
Yeah, any question? Did you learn anything so far?
Yes, the importance of having your data protected, to be careful with any spam or people or anyone
Yes, yeah,
trying
sure,
to
good.
get into your data or information, financial information. And yes, it's really important.
Good. Fred, any comment, anything, any question?
I mean, I will agree. I mean, we learned that you can protect your computer networks and your info from various threats online and digital environments. Through cybersecurity. We learned about network traffic and
Mm,
logs. So yeah,
good.
I'm,
Okay, good.
I'm listening. I'm following along.
Good job, good job, good. Philippa just joined. Any question? Alicia, do you have any question, comment? No? So the importance of data protection. What's the importance of data protection? I think we are just repeating ourselves. Can someone just read for individual what's the importance of data protection? Or maybe our asset protection? Why do you need to protect your asset? Someone can read what I put for individual there on the left.
For individuals, you said?
Yes.
So, importance of data protection for individuals, personal privacy, avoiding financial loss, identity protection, protection from cyberbullying, preserving digital legacy.
Good. So what is the protection when it comes to financial loss? Why should we protect why should we protect us? Do you guys understand when we talk about financial loss?
Yes, because if you have, for instance, if you have a savings account and by any chance there's like a phishing spam that came to your email saying that they will give you $500 if you
Yeah.
update any kind of information or something too good to be truth, and you click
Mhm.
that, then perhaps you can get rude travel people getting into your savings account and just getting the money out of it. So I've known many people that happened to them.
Good.
So we have to be careful.
Good. Very good. That's you explain everything, right? We have to be careful because they can just take. Sometimes they say call you or you receive. Sometimes it's even a call. You receive a. I know some of them call me and say you receive a free gift card, and then it's $100. You have to send $5 for the shipping, and then when you are ready to give your information, they just take. They can get hold of your bank of information and then get what they want to do. By the time you call the bank, they took something, right? So we have to be aware they are all over there. So identity protection. Do you have something? Anyone have something to share about or any personal experience regarding identity protection? Anything?
Well, it happened. I don't know if that's identity protection, but I don't know how that happened that I went to my country to DR, and
Mhm.
when I came back, somebody
Mhm.
hacked my WhatsApp. I don't know how, but
Wow.
then they I think because I know for sure I was using a Wi-Fi, and then I saw like a link and my like direct messages. So
Mhm.
I think I clicked that by mistake. I think it was that because when I got
Mhm.
back, they hacked my WhatsApp and they were asking people for money. It was a
Oh,
craziness. So yes. Thank God I
mm,
called all my friends and my
yes.
family, and after that I just deleted the app.
Wow, that's actually, yeah, that's actually identity protection, because what they do, they will send you links or code and say, but they give me this code that you receive, and then they will hack your account. And then when they hack your account, they act as if it was you. They will ask money to people. So it's very important to secure even our social securities. We have to secure those. It's very, very important to have those information secure, right? Social security, they can act as is you and file your taxes if they have your social and stuff like that. That kind of stuff happened to me. And we have to be careful on everything that we are clicking, right? Cyberbullying is like they take control of your computer, and then they try to bully you and say, oh, send, if you don't give me 5,000, I will not release anything, so we have to be conscious of that. So for businesses, when maybe you have why you have to protect maybe those assets for your business, because if you have a business and you go through maybe a cyber threat, if your customer are aware, they will not, you will lose the trust will be, you will not have no trust with your customer, and your reputation also can be harmed, right? Can be damaged. So it's very important, as we are studying cybersecurity and related to our finance, to our business, anything that we want to do in the future, to understand that we have to be careful. Don't click on anything, don't accept anything. Be careful, even reading the information carefully is very important. You have to read before we click. Let's not just assume, because sometimes there are links that seems like the real URL. It look real, but it's not the right one. So we have to be careful as we are managing our assets and everything online. So legal and financial consequences. Yeah, there are a lot of consequences. Why? Because we have also intellectual property protection, competitive advantage, right? So other company will have advantage over you, because you did not protect your information, but then they will have now advantage on you, right? And your reputation, as we said, will be damaged. So we, as businesses, it's also important in the domain of cybersecurity, they have regulatories and like protection. PCI DSS is for businesses to register there. They protect them in case of anything, right? Even when they are taking credit cards, sometimes you go to the store, but some small businesses, they don't have those security. They just assume I'm a small business, I don't have to comply, but it's not true, you see, because they are not educated. And when something happens, they spend a lot of money to comply first, and there are consequences. Why? Because they expose their customer information and they will pay fines. But if they were smart, it's not even to be smart, it's if they were aware that this is true, there are scammers, there are hackers out there, and they are stealing information. They will even protect the receipt that when you make a transaction, they will protect those. Why? Because hackers can use anything to get in the system. Sometimes they are very expert, and then you know how to read. And even if you have a company, you have a business, and then you did not protect your network, anyone can join your network and get those customer details. And you are just going to a store, you buy something with your credit card, and the grocery man did not protect, he did not comply, so your information are at risk at that moment, right? So it's very important for everyone to be educated, not only students, not only customers, but everyone should be aware of what is going on, because there are actually financial consequences, and it's very costly, right? So what's the difference between tangible and intangible assets? we talk about assets, what is tangible assets, and what is intangible assets.
Tangible assets are like valuable things that you can touch. For instance, I don't know, a house,
Yes.
a car.
Yeah. Yes.
Tangible, I could say it's your money in the bank.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that stocks, perhaps.
Yes. Yes. Very good. Someone else want to try?
I agree. Basically, I'll say tangible assets are assets that you have access to. You know,
Okay.
for instance, money you have on on hand. Like she said, your car, your house. Yeah, what's right before you.
Okay. Good. So I want to know what's each of you, what's your major? Kisbel?
Nursing.
Yeah.
Nursing?
My major is accounting.
Accounting. Okay.
Yes.
And Fred is nursing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good. Alicia, what's your major? If I may know. Erica, what's your major?
Mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering. Okay. Philippia? Okay, good. You have a diverse major, so that's very good. Yes, as you said, tangible assets are physical items with a measurable value, such as buildings, equipment, inventory, everything that you can touch, right? And intangible assets, on the other hand, lack of a physical presence but hold value, including what patents, trademarks, and intellectual properties. Those are just examples, stuff that you can touch, right? And intangible is mostly trademarks, franchises, copyright, licenses, goodwill, patents. You see, those are like papers, reports, stuff like that, right? But tangible assets, we have equipment, machinery, buildings, vehicle, cars, stocks, land, even cash, stuff that you can touch, right? So very good try, guys. So let's go a little bit deeper about some cybersecurity concepts. I know you guys know a little bit more maybe than this, but let's go over it. I know we have to understand those concepts when you want to maybe you go to the field of cybersecurity. They will be talking about authentication. They will talk about some key terms, right? It's not everything here, but we'll just try to cover what we can cover, right? So before that, do you guys have any question, any comments? Welcome, Martha. We are actually studying cybersecurity in finance, and we are actually here. We want to talk about some concepts of cybersecurity. Authentication. What is authentication? Now, is there someone want to read?
The process of verifying the identity of a user, system, or application.
Authentication methods include what? Passwords?
Passwords, biometrics, smart cards, and two-factor authentications. 2FA.
Good. Thank you.
A strong authentication helps prevent unauthorized access.
Yes. Thank you so much. So it's very important to know about authentication. Why? Because it's a process to verify the identity, right? You want to get in your bank account right now, and you don't want anyone to be identified as you. And you don't even want yourself to be identified as someone, right? So that's why we say in authentications, we have passwords, biometric, smart card. They are different. If you're working in some companies, they use smart cards, they use biometric, they use password or strong password, I would say, right? Because they are password, weak password and strong passwords. So a strong authentication helps, as she read, to prevent unauthorized access. So let's take a basic scenario, right? You want to go to, or maybe someone can just give me another scenario different from what I mentioned here. Why authentication is important, or like give me a scenario of authentication or how it's used. Just an example.
For instance, if you are filling a if you want to fill a FAFSA form, yeah, there is a stage you will get to, and they will ask you for a two-way authentication to make sure it is you. It's not just your password that they accept.
Yes.
At times they want to know some other things about you, maybe your email address, your correct name, the name of your something you use as security when you were creating the account.
Very good. Yes. Very good. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah. So the example I put here is just a basic example. Everybody have probably a bank account. So the first step is registration, right? When you register, they ask you some information. As she said, they can ask you information about you, information about your grandparent, some information that only you know. So in case if something happened, or maybe you forgot your password, or maybe you forgot even the two-factor authentication, because sometimes they will send you a secure code, but they want to verify or make sure it's you. It's very important in finance, in cybersecurity, in every aspect. Everywhere, even in our phones, emails, they do that, right? So when you're doing the registration, you enter some information there. So the goal is to make sure that it's really you. And then they are not giving access to someone that claim to be you, but it's not you. Even your brother, even your sister, even someone looking exactly as you, but they want to make sure it's you. So when you register, they ask you for username, strong password, email. So now, just imagine, Fred will go to his bank now. He registered already, and now he wants to get into his bank account. So they will try to authenticate him. That's actually what they say, authentication. They will try to make sure it's him. Why? They will ask him the username, they will ask you the password, and they will verify. And if it's good, he will have access to that account. And sometimes for extra level of security, they go with two-factor authentication. Instead of just your password, as she mentioned, they will go and ask you for a code for your maiden name, your mother maiden name, for some information. It's very important to know that those are very important. And then every time. So even at another level is to use your biometric, your fingerprint and stuff like that, but it comes at different levels and depending on what you want to do. Sometimes they will just take a picture, say take a picture of you or right now, or maybe send a link so that they can know that it's you. It's very important. Why? Because we have hackers out there, and then they are making a lot of very bad stuff, and it involves some consequences, like financial consequences, and you have to be careful. So authorization, what is authorization now? Is the process of granting or denying access to specific resources or actions based on authenticated user credentials, right? Authorization ensures that users can only access the resources and perform actions that are appropriate for their level of permission. Can someone give me an example of authorization? How it happened? How we use that in companies, or maybe in your own, maybe to secure your own asset? How do you use authorizations?
Like you was just saying, as far as like if you were to log into your financial institution, not only would you be able to put in that password, they will send a text to you to verify that you got that same text or that same code in the text, and you have to plug in that same information to authenticate that you are that person, or an email as well to do the same thing.
Okay. Someone else want to try authorization in cybersecurity?
I'm not sure if anybody had already said it, but security questions, they might ask you a series of security questions prior to logging in, just to ensure that you are the person or the correct person to log into this account.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. So let's see these scenarios, right? So let's imagine you are working in a company, right? And there's different roles and different permission, right? So let's imagine I am an employee. That means I can view, I can edit my own files, but I cannot access file of other employees. So you are there, you are a manager, and let's imagine Fred is the administrator. So the manager can access and modify files of the employees in the department. So the admin, the permission that he has is he has full access to all files, and he's able to manage user permission. So now me or Bob, my name is Bob, and I am an employee, and I want to access a departmental report stored on the file sharing system, right? What will happen? I don't know if you guys hear my question.
Yeah.
I give
Your access
1,
will
2,
be
3.
denied.
The access will be?
Your access will be denied because if you're on an entry level position, you only have access to your information. You won't have access to others' information.
Good. Someone else want to try?
In that case,
Mm-hmm.
he would have to either ask the administrator
Mm-hmm.
or the manager for permission, and if his request is denied or accepted, it depends on them. Or if
Yeah.
they can do the job for him, it depends
Yes.
on them.
Good, good, good. Yes. So sometimes when you want to request something, they will ask you, do you ask the permission? So based on your role. So authorization is actually to protect and make sure, as we saw earlier, grant or deny access to specific resources or action based on authenticated user credential. So you want to make sure that you don't give permission, full permission to all employees. This is also an example. I was working in one company that's Optum or United Healthcare, insurance company, right? So they have a lot of buildings, and my access card gave me access to building A. And one day I wanted to visit a friend in building B. I thought my card will give me access to that building, but I didn't have access. Why? Because I did not have the permission to act. I can enter maybe with someone, but I'm not authorized to be in that building. So later on now, they assign me a mentor or a manager who was working in that building. So now they asked me to go to the IT department, and what they did is they gave me access. So they just clicked something in the system, and my card was able to enter that building. So it's very important to know the process of authorization when you are in cybersecurity. Why? Because you don't give all access to people. Someone can have access to everything, and when he's not an employee, he come and destroy everything because you give him access to all the buildings, and now sometimes it's difficult to revoke it, or maybe you forgot. But when you give permission to only what the person needs, if it's a new employee and he doesn't have anything related to go to the internal, maybe file sharing, you don't give him access. It's very important to authorize access to only what is important. Someone can be your employee and you give him all access, and now he's not working there anymore. And one day he comes and he do whatever he has to do. But if he was just having access to what he's supposed to have, when you fire him or when he's not working, you will remove. But giving access to everything is always a danger, or if not, is something not good, right? So let's keep that in mind. So the request will fail. It will not go through unless Bob asks now the manager, can I have access to this? And maybe he will explain, or maybe the admin have all full access, he will grant him access. Or maybe he will deny, or maybe the access will say deny, you don't have permission, so that you know that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to look anything inside here. I don't have permission, right? So roles and permissions are very important in cybersecurity. Even in your What did you say?
No, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Let me mute myself.
No problem. Thank you. So it's very important to have that in mind, that if I'm not authorized, I should not, or maybe you are the boss tomorrow, you don't give access to, just to avoid that kind of incident that will happen. Or maybe someone getting access to a database that is very sensitive and destroying all information by mistake. Why? Because you give information, or you give access to someone who is new, who is not trained yet, who doesn't know how to manage, and then just by mistake you will erase everything. So it's very important to know. So some cybersecurity concept, you have encryption, right? Encryption, the process of converting data into a code form to prevent what? Unauthorized access or data breaches. Encryption protect data during transmission and storage. Does anyone have any knowledge about encryption? What are the type of encryption that we have? How is encryption used, or how are you making sure that your data are encrypted? Or did you use that before, or is it a new term for you? Someone have something? Encryption. Did you hear about the encryption before? So encryption is mostly yeah, go ahead.
No, I was about to say that I don't know per se what is it, but I know that in WhatsApp when I don't know, when I created my new WhatsApp, it said if I wanted like to encrypt the information or the data. I don't know what that meant, but it appeared.
Yes, very important. That's a good example. That in WhatsApp, Those who use WhatsApp data, they are encrypted. Encrypted, as you see the definition, it protects your data during transmission and storage. As you are sending messages, people cannot see. There are some messages or before your message was not secure. Someone can hack your message as it's going to, maybe you are testing someone about some sensitive information. You give your social. Someone is able to hack your, as you say, they hack your, they can see everything. But now, as it's encrypted, even when you share a message, there's encryption in transit. Even when it's in transit, your data are protected. So it's just a way to protect your data. And even when it's stored, they call it encryption arrest. Encryption arrest is your data are arrested in the database, but is secure. No one can access it, right? So it's a very good example. So encryption, let's take this example, right? Securing communication over the internet using HTTPS, right? HTTPS connection initiation, that's the first step. So that means, just for example, you want to access a website, your bank, right? Bankexample.com, right? So the bank website is configured to use what? HTTPS. That's the secure. When you see HTTPS, you know that it's secure, that everything that you are doing on that website is secure. But if you see HTTP, right, you should know that it's not secure, that everything that you're doing there, someone can see, someone who is unauthorized can see. But when you see this S means secure. So if you want to communicate, right, on internet using a website, but as we see this on the website, on the URL, we know that is secure, right? So her browser initiate a connection using HTTPS. Those are just some concepts. It's true, it's very hard to understand at this level, but it's just for you to understand the scenario. So the TLS handshake is just a process, right? Just the process to encrypt. The browser and the bank's web server engage in a TLS, transport layer security handshake process. During the TLS handshake, the server presents a digital certificate to prove its identity. So those are actually at the internet level or network level. So they're doing that to make sure that everything that you're doing on that website is protected. This certificate is issued by a Trusted Certificate Authority, CA. The public key exchange. As part of the TLS handshake, the server and the browser exchange public keys. The public key is used for encrypting and decrypting the data. So now what happened? So the data encryption now happened. Once the TLS handshake is complete, a secure connection is established. Any data exchange between F or your browser and the bank server is what? Encrypted, right? So there's a process, but they happen at the network level. You are not aware of this, but those are actually what happened, right? It's very important to, when you go to a website, to make sure it's secure. If you go to a website, you want to use your bank account, if this is not HTTPS, know that it's not secure, that you are putting your information at risk, right? So as you see this picture right here under this one, the second picture, so this is like a test document. As you want to send it, it's encrypted. And the way it's encrypted is that no one can see what you wrote. You see in the middle is showing some other, it's like Arabian, maybe you're gonna think that is another language. That's actually the process of encryption. So if you speak French, it's just an example. If you speak even Spanish, anything, so the way it will encrypt, it will put to a format that you will not even know what it is. But when it gets to the destination, it opens, and now you can see this second picture. You can see that actually is what you send. But in transit, it was encrypted. It was encrypted to, it was coded, right? Let's say that it was coded. It was, they put it in another format that you will not even know that it was what you said, right? That's encryption. Isabel, do you understand now encryption? Yes?
I understand what you're saying. So I've seen that plenty of times. So like I would have like, for instance, old letter or whatever, but you'll see it like if I put it on an SD card, it will have like a bunch of random letters and symbols or whatever the case. That's not the actual letter, but when you put it back on the computer, it will show how the original format.
Yes, that's actually what it is. Good. Let's just move on because we are almost at the end. So firewalls, right? Securing system that monitor and control incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. Has someone heard about firewalls before? You use firewalls before?
Yes. In
Is it the
school.
one they are using in during the Christmas or festivities, and they'll be blowing it in the air, boom, 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 and it will be sparking fire.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not that. It's the same name, but it's not. It's not the.
The same meaning.
Yes. Different. Yeah.
Okay.
Fred, you were saying something.
So would like Firefox be an example?
Firefox. Just explain how it works. How does that work?
I guess like it's, so to speak, like a protection barrier to make sure that your information is like there's no spam alerts or any of that. So it makes sure that only the material that you're looking to be pertaining to you is relevant rather than random pop-ups and stuff.
Yeah, actually, firewalls they act as a barrier, right, between a trusted internal network and the entrusted external network. So you have the property to filter by blocking or allowing data packet based on defined criteria. So you can go to a website, or maybe you are at home, you have kids, or you don't want your kids to have access to Facebook while at Hostos Community College. So you go on firewalls and then you deny the access. So there are ways to do that. You block, right? Those are what we call firewalls. Those are barriers. I went to a school in Colombia when I was doing my internship as undergrad. And when you were there, you don't have access to YouTube, you don't have access to Facebook, you don't have. So they just block it because they don't want students to access Facebook while on campus. So they use actually what we call firewalls. Those are barriers. It's just like a fence that you put between your internal network and so those are stuff that you do online. You just go and say, I want to block connection to this website. They'll ask you which website, so you can filter and you can say, I don't want people, or maybe you have a website and there's a lot of traffic and you know that there's a certain time there's people are trying to access the website everywhere in the world. So you can block access. I don't want people in Africa to access my website. I don't want people in Asia. I just want US people. So you're gonna use firewalls to filter, to block, or maybe allow people from the US or maybe from people from Europe, right? So as you see on the picture, your network makes a request to the internet, right? The firewalls scan and filter the data. Your network is granted access to the request sources. Sometimes you want to access a website, they say, no, you don't have permission, you cannot access it through our network. So it's just a way to filter and to make sure that people maybe you can scan or filter or block scammers who want to access your network. That's actually why we have to make the protection secure, you know, and stuff like that. So it's just a barrier between just to allow, refuse, deny, or filter what network can access your network, right? So do you have any question before we conclude? So tomorrow or maybe next week, we're gonna study more cybersecurity concepts, why awareness is important. And we can also go into biometric and its challenges, identity theft, how to avoid scams, how to protect our assets, and study more scenarios. Do you guys have questions before we wrap up? You guys learned something today?
You did a wonderful job presenting. Yes, you gave us a lot of pertinent information.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you so much. Guys, questions? Thank you for coming to or joining the workshop. It will be shared with you guys who came late, but you know, tomorrow we're gonna learn more stuff, you know. And I want you guys to check how you can apply, depending on the major that you are majoring right now, how can you apply cybersecurity in protecting your asset, in protecting your information in the field that you choose, how cybersecurity is important in that field. Try to get more knowledge in each of your field. Nursing, how cybersecurity is important in the field of nursing. Miss Erica, Miss Martha, what's your major? Martha, what's your major? Each of you, before coming tomorrow or joining tomorrow or next week.
I'm sorry, I have a problem with my phone. It's mechanical engineering.
Okay, good. So how can we apply cybersecurity in mechanical engineering? How vulnerable or what's the challenges that is going on there in your field? Nursing and all the majors that were you guys mentioned today. Do you think cybersecurity is important in that field also? Or it's only in finance?
Yeah, no, it's definitely, as you say, this is in all camps, because in my case, planning to work in a factory or mechanical engineering uses a system to move machines or to make process. So a cyber attack problem could be really dangerous because someone could hack and change parameters and practices or stealing projects.
It's amazing. Good. Someone else want to share? That's very good, Erica.
As far as with nursing, I will say people's personal information could be hacked, and a number of things. So much technology revolves around around computer systems, and also if the hospitals or clinics or whatever, they got hacked, then people's lives are definitely in jeopardy as well.
Okay, that's good. Especially in nursing, you can do also research to see if there's any hacking happening in clinical systems. How are they protecting? Is there anything happening like because we have that incident breach that happened, which happened with the Target, and then and then they lost a lot of money. So in your field, you can check also, it could be a topic that you want to, maybe if you have something coming up, they ask you to present something, you can go and check in your field and say, there are challenges, these are the challenges in my field. This is, as Erica mentioned, everything is now digital. Patient information in nursing are exposed. and now maybe they're not even aware, but how is the system making sure that patient information? I know we have HIPAA laws, we have a lot of laws out there, but it's also important to consider having some research, make some research, and maybe if you have the occasion to present, the opportunity to present, you can also present that. That would be very awesome. Good. Isabel, you have something to add? Thank you so much for your participation, guys. That was very important.
Thank you for the information. I would say that actually this last week, my grandpa received a letter from one of the, it's like a big company, medical providers that he attends to with my grandma. And the letter, it was about the same thing. They had a data breach, and they were trying to alert all the the customers or clients about to be careful with personal information. So I think companies or institutions have to invest more in better programs, or people that that take more this into deep, because it's really important, I think, for everybody.
Good, very good, good. Yeah, there are a lot of stuff happening, and some of them are not sharing with others, but a lot of people are getting scammed. Some, we just need to be aware. Awareness, the more we educate people, the more training we get. When they hire you in a company, the first stuff it will be just about training. Just use a strong password. Don't share your password with your colleague and stuff like that. It's very important. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are getting their information hacked every day, and sometimes it's lack of knowledge. So you guys, I think you are very smart to choose to participate in this kind of workshop, that you can learn about your money, how to manage your asset, how to protect your asset. The more you know, the more it will be fresh in your mind. Like, if someone just send you a link at the end of this conversation, like, okay, I didn't sign up with this, I will not even click, I will just deny or delete it, right? But when you are not aware, you'll just be tempted and say, oh, let me, curiosity, but it can just hijack your phone, or maybe your laptop, or or your asset. They have control of everything, and that's not good, right? So thank you, guys. I don't know if you have questions, but we are at the end. God bless you. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Again. Bye, guys. See you all tomorrow or next week. Okay, bye-bye.